And when I expand further on wanting to be taken care of, my expectations of a man who loves me, granted that we're in the dynamic of a relationship that I've chosen to be in with him, he'll be financially taking care of me. And this is the part of the conversation where a lot of people sort of like wince and they're like, oh, I don't like that. It's uncomfortable because I think especially when it comes to feminism coming into the conversation, when we discuss money and men, it's a very touchy area. And that's because when we talk about receiving financial support from men, especially under the umbrella of love, there's this idea that if a man financially supports you, then he automatically has ownership over you and that you are infantilized and disempowered. Because according to modern feminism, you need to be independent and you need to be the girl boss. Girl boss so close to the sun that you pay his bills because you are so empowered. And I think that there's a middle area where that Venn diagram meets, where you can be independent and still receive support. So
I'm curious of what that middle area is, because what most guys are basically saying is, because you want to be independent, because you want to be in your own space and you want to be a girl boss and all of this other stuff, why should I still play this same traditional role that grandpa and grandpapa was playing, and that I basically provide all of the resources, and then all you do is you can take your money and do what you want to do, and then you take my money and then you do what you want to do also with it. So now I'm behind, right? And of course, the simps are going to come through and say, "Oh, no, 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 her money should be for her, and my money is for us." They doing that to pander to y'all, and they also them type of dudes that get used up and they get chewed up and spit out, and then they come back to us and they say, "Man, the family court laws is messing me up. They drove me crazy. They drove me insane. It also removed all of my money and my resources, and she's using my kids against me, and child support." Those are those type of guys. Those are the reasons. They are the reasons why we're fighting these laws for family court laws. Not me in particular, because I'm not a person that's going through it, but I don't have to go through it in order to advocate for what's right. However, feminism has empowered women to basically be able to do the same thing. And often what you see is women throw it in your face and they say, well, we're more educated, or when really they're saying we're more enrolled and we're more in debt. And that's the reason why we vote the way that we vote. What they're also saying is we don't need a man until it's a pandemic. And then you see that the majority of the women were the ones getting laid off. Or they say, we don't need you. We can do bad by ourselves. Yeah, that's usually what happens when a rent moratorium ends. It's the majority of women are getting their cars repossessed and they're getting kicked out of these homes because they haven't been paying rent in the first place. And they're looking for a savior when it's convenient for them. But if you're going to stand on this, you got to stand on it 100% of the time. You can't switch up when it's convenient for you. So I'm curious as to what her form of feminism is, or if she even embraces it in the first place, because apparently she's a pretty popular person that a lot of women follow and a lot of women buy her books.
version of feminism, my version of independence is save my money and spend his.
See what I'm saying?
Because I'm
Nobody has
more
time for that
economically
nonsense.
empowered if I have more of my own money.
Yeah.
Use his bricks to build my empire.
Okay. All right. I definitely want to spend.
No, that's not cute. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Nah, bro. And this is the problem, is because a lot of people or a lot of women can get away with it because it's a lot of simps that'll justify it. I don't know if every woman can get away with it, but it's a lot of women that actually think that this is cute. It's just not cute.
A lot of time talking about the finance side, because my first career was finance.
No way.
Yeah, I was an investment banker. So I was an investment banker.
Parents must have been proud.
And then, yeah, but think of how proud they were when I said I'm going to become an investment banker. Then think of how disappointed they were when I said, I think I'm going to give it all up and become a matchmaker. They were like,
why?
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty
what?
crazy,
Well,
man.
which one is matchmaker? What's
I was
matchmaker?
like, yeah, exactly.
I'm sure he's doing fine, but that's a crazy career.
It was like the most devastating day in their lives, I think.
Done.
So I want to spend a lot of time on the money and finance, but just on the love. What I find interesting is, so you're saying a component then of love. Is this for you, where you're saying generally, or actually no, you're saying we all need to define love for ourselves?
We should define love for ourselves, but then where my work is at the moment is me radically believing in the idea that if women are going to be in partnership with men, women need to materially benefit from that.
Yeah.
Because women are owed reparations, and the people we lay with are the people who are most likely to kill us, which sounds really
It sound crazy, bro. It sound insane.
dark, but that's the reality we're living in. If you look at the statistics about intimate partner violence, it's really saddening to see. But also, I think it's so interesting that women are expected traditionally under this definition of love to be the homemaker, to be the all-star sexual being, to be ever emotionally present. And what do we expect of men? Just like come home, put your briefcase down, be there, I guess.
We do go outside and battle the world and kill ourselves a little bit every single day to make sure that you are the beneficiary of our greatness. You do realize that, right? When the lights cut on, if you are a traditional wife, a stay-at-home wife, that means that you don't really do anything all day. So you telling me that it takes you all of this time to clean up something that's not even dirty? Listen, if you talk to the majority of women that are housewives, especially the ones that don't have any children, if you ain't got no purpose and you ain't got no children, that's crazy to me. Or if your children is big, that's insane to me. But they don't do nothing all day. So you telling me you got to give up some box that you like and you benefit from too, and then that's so hard. That's a huge task for men. Come on, man. Stop, bro. Stop, man. Uh, the amount of effort and the way that these people are preaching to y'all is basically gonna keep y'all broke by yourselves and dusty for the rest of your lives. It's crazy. I'm gonna let her spit whatever she gonna spit, but Jesus Lord,
Like, we're not asking enough of men. And this is, again, where the
we're not
conversation
asking
gets
enough.
really touchy, because it could be argued, which is true, that men are having a difficult time mentally. There's this whole conversation about the male loneliness epidemic, which I find quite interesting and almost hilarious, because, like,
Really?
oh, yeah, of course you're going to be lonely. You've killed all the women. Like, what do you mean?
You
Why are you
killed all the
complaining that you're
women?
lonely? But also, irony and sarcasm aside,
Yeah.
I think the male loneliness
What?
epidemic and feminism, these are all components that exist next to each other, because what's happening is the more women find their worth, the more they don't want to be around men. And men are like, oh, what about me? I want you to center me more. And it's like, well, men need to learn to find sustenance, entertainment, and sexual gratification outside of women, because we don't owe men that. And so when I talk about
This is
money, when I talk
crazy.
about expecting more from men, when I talk about the fact that I wouldn't date a man who isn't a provider, all the men who are on the complete opposite side of that, who harp on about male loneliness, they're the ones who come into my comments and they're like, well, this sounds really cold. What about love? This is all about love.
Wow.
This is crazy. This chick is absolutely insane. I don't know how they then become the thought leaders and the communicators of what's best for the culture and the people. But I'm trying to tell you that the majority of these women is gonna have y'all by yourselves, lonely, and being single cat ladies and trying to justify the fact that you think that you know what you was talking about. You're gonna follow their advice and you're gonna be off a cliff. I remember it was a chick, I think her name was Isis, and that she had this exact same type of mentality. And she wound up coming on to regret it. And I think I actually seen her do a whole live stream on Hardly Initiated. And a lot of the guys was like, we told you. We told you. We tell y'all a lot of stuff y'all don't listen to, then y'all crash out, and then y'all want to act like y'all the victims. Anyways, I'm curious as to what y'all think. I always like to give credit to the content creators, so that's always gonna be down in the description. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley 40% off your first order, plus 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.